The Navy of Thailand was in the market for some submarines. They had lost their last submarines when they were sunk by the Army of Thailand. Today we'll be discussing when the Thai Army and Navy fought each other. It's the Manhattan Rebellion! The year is 1951. The Prime Minister is the top army general. He had ruled after a military coup had seized power, an army coup, and the Navy started talking about, you know what? We think we could do a better job, so let's launch a counter coup. It was a good time in 1951 because many of the Army's elite units were off fighting in Korea. So the Navy hatched a plot to invite the Prime Minister on board the USS Manhattan, a ship donated from the US that was going to be rechristened in a ceremony. But then they took the Prime Minister hostage. The Navy headquarters was up the river. They just needed the drawbridge to open so they could pass through it. So naval forces in the capital launched attacks on the streets to try to seize control of the bridge. The battle raged all day between Army and Navy forces, represented here by some frogs that I just wanted to animate them. Look how cute they are. Frogs, they're just naturally funny. But seriously, the fighting was actually quite awful. Most of the people killed were civilians because they were fighting in the dense capital. But there was a flaw in the Navy plan. They thought they had a trump card by kidnapping the Prime Minister. But the truth is, with an organization like an army, losing the top guy does not really affect the organization very much. Somebody else will step in and take his place. So the army decided to start attacking the ship that the Prime Minister was on, and eventually they were able to sink the ship. The Prime Minister had to jump overboard and swim to shore, and then run into a police station in the middle of the night and be like, "Hey, I'm the Prime Minister. Take me to the Capitol. I'm the Prime Minister. Really, why don't you believe me? I'm in the newspaper all the time." The second day of fighting commenced, and it started to go worse and worse for the Navy. The Army was bringing in units from outside the capital with heavier weapons, and eventually naval forces had to surrender. So what happened to all the coup plotters? Well, the record is not exactly clear. What about those submarines? Did the Thai Navy ever get them? They got a very nice offer from the Chinese for 2 submarines. But then the West came and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you buying submarines from them? Don't do that." So China said, "We'll give you 3 submarines for the price of 2. Well, negotiations are still going on, and I guess you could say the Army and Navy are still fighting. Anyway, that's all for today. Please note the animation of the Rolling Stones playing on Janice's chest. It took me a long time to do that.